Today's sponsor is Audible.com, who has more than 180,000 audiobooks and spoken word audio products. Get a free audiobook of your choice at www.audibletrial.com/late night parents. Why Audible? Audible content includes more than 180,000 audio programs from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, entertainers, magazine and newspaper publishers, and business information providers. That's audibletrials.com/late night parents.
And we are here for episode 204. This is Ted Hicks with Late Night Parents, LMP show, Late Night Parent Radio. You can find me on Twitter at Real Ted Hicks or at Late Night Parent. You find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Late Night Parents. Or you can go to the website that has a new look and feel. Not totally sold on it, but it's latenightparents.com. And for those of you that are lazy, it's lmp.tv. But it's a new day. This episode is untitled as of right now. I just left it at episode 204. And I think that's what we're going to leave it at, because in some ways it's a continuation of last week's show, talking about the New York City Marathon, because we have to follow up with some of our friends that participated in the marathon, find out about their experiences and everything else that, that grueling 26.2 mile race. On top of that, we got so much to cover. Where do I start? I guess we would start with our radio partners that we have to thank near and far, and the people that retweet us, the people that play the show, play parts of the show, that sponsor the show, that sponsor the podcast. It's two different audiences. Those of you that listen to it live, want to say thank you, and the number is 347-857-1947. But then there's a totally different group that listen to the pod, that listen to the rebroadcast. And as always, extremely happy for you guys, because it's all about the archive listens. It's all about the archive listens. I had so many different people that I've talked to about this topic. How many people are actually available Wednesday night, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central, live show? You have to think on a couple of hands that, the people that religiously listen to the show. But then we have the folks that download the show, and whether they're commuting in their cars or on the trains, planes, automobiles. That was my John Candy take on that one. But no, for the folks that are commuters that listen to the show, really happy for you guys, and I really want to say thank you. Our partners, want to thank NGSC Sports that powers us on the iHeartRadio app. Want to thank our friends at Life Improvement Radio that play us through this Live 365 player. Want to say thank you to our friends at UNIR1 Radio that play us through the Tiki Live. Want to say thank you to FSC Radio in Philly. Want to say thank you to I-95 Sports that always plays us Big Bobby Blackjack near and far. our friends at Back Sports Pages that might not play this show, but they play another show that I'm a co-host on, Baseball, Beer, and Barbecue. Want to thank the folks at Rant Radio Network that play some parts of this show, but they play the Baseball, Beer, and Barbecue show. So many people to get to. Real Sports Network. Just want to say thank you to you guys and the folks that constantly, Jimmy Starr, our good friends Nine, our good friends H5, Richie V, on down the line, Rappin' Baker, CJ Computer Services, that retweet the show religiously. So that's an ode to you for the level of support that you guys provide. So now that we've gotten through all the formalities, we're done with that. We're done with being official. I can lay my hair down, and for those that know me or have seen my picture, I don't have any hair. I have a shaved head. And we can get into some of the things of last week versus some of the things of this week. This first half an hour, we're going to, I would say I would reminisce about the folks that we had on that ran that marathon. You run into so many people that say, this is my first marathon and this is my last. It's something that's grueling that I don't think, I would even have the stamina for something like that. I mean, the amount of training that has to take place for you to run a race like that. I got to say, big shout out to those folks. Want to give a couple of quick shout outs to some of our new friends that sponsor the show, some of our friends that work with us on so many different projects. Today, before I even get into this, Home and Family TV. Want to say thank you to the good folks on the Hallmark Network, the Hallmark TV Network. They're doing a car giveaway. It's for their brand new 2015 Ford Edge SUV. Submission dates are now until, I believe it's Friday, November 6th at 11:59 p.m. at night. You can go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/Home and Family Show. The rules behind it, you can use your smartphone or your camera to record the best and give your best yeehaw while also mentioning home and family in under 30 seconds and submit your video. And be sure to watch the video that we have listed at the bottom of the page. We have it. We're promoting it, the giveaway on Late Night Parents, because we're so grateful for all the various partnerships. It's all about hashtagging Home and Family Yeehaw Contest, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. The judging will be based on creativity, talent, and of course, you must use the phrase yeehaw and somehow incorporate home and family. So we will give it a mention one more time tonight. Our friends at Home and Family. Always looking forward to working with you guys because you do some great work there on the Hallmark Network. Want to give a shout out to our friends at Gold Bond. They were so kind to gift us with the Gold Bond Ultimate Targeted Body Cream. Dark spot minimizing body cream. Visible results begin in just under 4 weeks. It helps improve the appearance of spots on the body, including the neck, chest, arms, and hands. Multi-action formula, your standard vitamin C, dark spot minimizing targeted cream. So we want to thank our good friends at Gold Bond. Thank you for the care package this week. We appreciate you guys. Our friends at Icy Hot Smart Relief TENS therapy for the knee and shoulder pain therapy. Relieves pain, release painful muscles and joints. Same technology used by doctors, reusable, wire-free, and easy to use, customizable, 63 intensity levels, prescription strengths. So we want to say thank you to our friends at Icy Hot Smart Relief. We did a promo with them, I believe, last season, and they were so happy about, how it went, that they reached out to us again. Another product I wanted to give a quick shout out to was, and it was so funny because our friends at the number one cup. The number one cup was designed for those gotta go now emergencies that inevitably crop up with young boys in the car. So it's a tried and literally road tested for those youngsters that are on extensive road trips. From as we know, the holiday season is getting ready to start. Want to give a brief breakdown about the number one cup. Introducing the number one cup, must-have product. It's designed especially for young boys, and number one is in mind. So just in time for those the holiday road trips, the number one cup is available to help those gotta go now emergencies. The brainchild of a single mother of three, Emily Baldwin. The simple receptacle is a must for every parent of boys heading out of town in the car. You know, the saying, necessity is the mother of invention, sure strikes home, stated Emily Baldwin. As a parent, you have to learn to improvise when you find yourself in unavoidable situations, such as being stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic with a boy who cannot wait one more second to relieve himself. She mentions that she knows it's not everyone's favorite topic of conversation, but as a mother of three sons, going number one is simply a reality. We're definitely going to have, in the upcoming weeks, Miss Emily Baldwin on the show to talk about her invention, the number one cup, how she's marketing it. And those are our three, real quick breakdown of the product review section for the week. So it's with that, this stuff is important. I mean, sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go. So we appreciate that. We appreciate all the PR groups that work with us. We get so many different calls every day, and it's just remarkable how the show itself is moving. You know, what started as a blog has continued to morph, and we continue with the podcast, and we continue reaching out to some new and young entrepreneurs with their inventions and with things that we like to talk about on the show, because it's not all about. I mean, everyone has a sports podcast. Everyone I know, everyone is talking about pro football, whatever. A lot of people do tech podcasts. You even got a handful of people that do educational podcasts. You have the folks that do product reviews. But we kind of wrap it all together, and that's the special thing about it. And we're appreciative of it and of the movement and everything else like that. We've got a caller on the line, and I'm hoping it's one of my friends that ran the marathon last week. And just so we can follow up, uh, Late Night Parents, this is Ted Hicks, who's on the line.
This is Terrence. What's going on, Ted?
Oh, what's going on, Big T? How you doing?
I'm still sore.
Big T, I want to tell you, this is on the line. We have Terrence Mills, a friend to the show, a friend to me personally, and someone who's, on borderline family. I feel, when I see T, I'm like, okay, so what's going on? T, we know we were unable to have you on the show last week. We had Linda Valdez on the show, but we know you experienced something very special last week, the New York City Marathon, and wanted to find out about the experience, your thoughts on it, how are you doing, how are you holding up? It's 72 hours later, outside of being short. Give us a rundown of last Sunday.
First off, I was listening to the show last week. I want to congratulate Rich's Valdez wife, Linda Valdez, on completing her first New York City Marathon. If she's listening right now, congratulations, Linda. I had a wonderful time. It was very hard, this race, because I didn't get enough proper training, and it was kind of emotional for me also because I was running in memory of my aunt that passed away from cancer last month, and this race was very hard. It was very hard. I had a couple of injuries, cramps, sore feet, and just a lot of pain. I lost a lot of energy, but I kept going. The key is to keep going. And I felt like stopping. I felt like pulling out around the 17th mile. But, people cheering you on. There's a lot of energy in all 5 boroughs. Brooklyn was on fire when we got downtown. And I walked. I basically ran and I walked a lot. So it was an amazing experience. It really was. A lot of determination, a lot of hope, and a lot of prayer. And I was able to get through. I did over 6 hours. I wanted to do my PR last year. I did 5. I tried to do 4 this year, but this race made me earn this medal this year. It made me earn it. How bad do you want it? Because the marathon tests your will and your spirit. It really does. It tests your will, your spirit, and your mental. And every medical tent that I passed by, I want to go in there. I said, I can't do this no more. I had hamstrings was on fire. My toes was hurting. My calves was on fire. I stopped and used the restroom for the first time. It was just insane. I had no energy whatsoever, none, and I couldn't believe it. But I finished, and I'm kind of sore right now. But if I would have pulled out, it was something that I would have never forgot for the rest of my life. So just to hear the people out there cheering you on, you have older people that was passing you. An older lady, she grabbed my hand and said, "Everything's okay? You want me to run with you?" I said, "No, I'm fine. I think I'm just going to take my time." You have people in wheelchairs, and for me, just watching them and their spirit and their will, they're disabled and they just keep going, and it's very inspirational. The marathon is very inspirational. The signs that people have up is they slapping you 5. You can do it. Come on, you my inspiration. You my hope. You my role model. And and you going through all that pain in your mind playing tricks on you, and it's like, you know what? I got to keep going, no matter what. I got to keep going. So that's basically what happened, Ted.
Oh my goodness. So, I guess after going through this, the question I really don't want to ask you, but I have to ask you.
Mhm.
Are you going to do it again?
Yeah. I've decided to run again for the fourth. This is actually my third. This past Sunday was my third marathon, and I will be running again. Last year I said, I'm not doing this no more. And then when it come around, I don't know, it's just the excitement of it, just seeing people's faces, people running for different causes this year. I mean, people, there was women that came through the finish line like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning with their husbands on the other side, congratulating them. They had injuries. The doctors gave them clearance to run or walk. People with strollers was walking. It was just incredible. Yes, I think I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'm just going to, switch to doing, half marathons after that because it is overwhelming. Alicia Keys ran. She did 5.5 hours. James Blake, the tennis athlete, ran. He said he'll never do it again. He said it's the most overwhelming because he's an athlete. He's a tennis player. He's a former tennis player. He said it's totally different running long distance. And he said he'll never do it again. Spike Lee was the Grand Marshal. He said he can't run because he said you see how he walks in his movies. His knees is bad. He's pigeon-toed. He said he is not running. So, and he made a fantastic video for the New York Road Runners Club about the inspiration of New York City, the inspiration of the people. He said, I don't care how long you be out there, 8, 9, 10 hours, finish. That's the whole key. You have to finish. Very inspirational.
That is, just some of the people that you named, Alicia Keys, everyone in the world loves Alicia Keys. Everyone screams about Beyonce, but when you want to talk about raw talent, Alicia Keys is second to none. James Blake, we heard about James Blake within the last 60 to 90 days with, I guess, that mistaken identity by the New York Police Department, and that's good that James Blake was out there, and Spike, with Spike being the Grand Marshal, I was listening to some of the local pundits that were like, well, why is Spike the Grand Marshal? He doesn't run. Just the level of hate that's out there. But I like the fact that Spike is a New Yorker.
100% New Yorker. Spike has done a lot of charity for New York City. He's into sports, basketball, Knicks. He's the king of New York, Spike Lee, with his movies and his dedication to New York and letting everybody know how wonderful and beautiful New York City is. He deserved that opportunity, Spike Lee, and they said that, the president of New York Road Runners Club said that about Spike Lee. He is New York City, Spike Lee.
Something you and I talked about last year when you were preparing to run, that the amount of money that is generated from this one race is phenomenal. And not only that, but the amount of money that goes to the various charities, which is also key.
$400 million generates for the city to 200 charities, and they I think they pay maybe $25 million in taxes to the city, for shutting the 5 boroughs down, so.
Gotcha.
It's a wonderful organization, and Mary Wittenberg is not the CEO of New York Road Runners Club anymore. She's actually the CEO of Virgin Sports. Now, Virgin Sports is owned by the gentleman that owns. You remember the Virgin?
Yes.
Madsen.
Yes.
I forgot the gentleman's name.
Okay.
But he owned all the. You remember the Virgin Mega stores that used to be in New York?
Yes.
She's actually working under him now. So he created a sports line, and she's the CEO of that.
Nice. I'm telling you, it's like I said, it's something that, and I wish I could have caught you last week because Linda didn't want to give up her bib number, but I know you would have definitely given up your bib number. So I because with you, T, we keep it 100 on the show. I wanted to make sure you weren't in an Uber trying to do your 26.
While I was running, I seen the Uber sign. I was tempted, Ted. I was getting ready to hop in the Uber around mile 17.
Oh my goodness! But
it was wonderful. A lot of people, they track. I put my bib number online, so whoever wanted to track me or any other runners, I gave them the link and everything. So a couple of people, when I logged back on Monday, they was like, "Yeah, we was tracking you. Congratulations." I was like, "Yeah, I was tracking myself too." I almost didn't make it.
Yo, T, as always, man, it's always wonderful to connect with you. I gotta, you know what? We might have to do it back to back. I might have to have you come back next week because I want you to break down BCAT.
Mhm.
I want you to break down. BCAT and everything and we want to talk about, because nowadays everyone's talking about streaming and not going through the network broadcast, but you were doing public TV how many years ago?
Public access, yes. 7 years, on and off 7 years, public access. So I was doing it Brooklyn, New York, and Atlanta, and Nebraska.
I want to get back. Possibly we can have you on a few minutes next week to talk about public access, to I guess your experiences in that realm, because I mean you're talented, you're humble, because you have so many different talents. T, it's something. But with that, tell us real quick best ways to get in contact with you.
For everybody that's watching right now, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to Late Night Parents. Thank you, Ted, once again for having me on. You have a great show. You can find me on Twitter.com/Terrence Mills, Facebook.com/Terrence Mills, and whoever wants to connect with me on there, I'm there.
Got you. T, I want to give you a quick round of applause. And say thank you, but we'll be seeing you very shortly, because like I said, I want to talk about public access, the changes, the things that you have seen that have changed in that specific industry. Are things getting easier? Are things getting rougher out there? And how it is to run your own independent TV show?
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone looks and sees, oh, my show's on NBC, ABC, CBS, or Fox, or now the CW. But what about non-specific cable or network shows? How do they live?
Right.
What's the funding like? What's the budgeting like? So want to definitely follow up with you next week, because you would be the subject matter expert on that one. But want to say thank you, T, for coming through real quick.
Yes,
and we'll be speaking with you next week, brother.
All right, have a good one, Ted. Thank you. Take it easy, everybody. Congratulations, Linda Valdez.
That was your friend and mine, Terrence Mills. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to run a promo for Audible, and we'll be back with Sofo LLC and find out what is that. We'll be right back.
Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/late-night-parents and choose from over 180,000 audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/late-night-parents. That's audibletrial.com/late-night-parents and get started today. Why Audible? Audible content includes more than 180,000 audio programs from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, entertainers, magazine and newspaper publishers, and business information providers. That's audibletrials.com/late-night-parents.
All right, and we're happy to be back. Want to thank our good friends at audible.com for always sponsoring, helping to sponsor Late Night Parents. Appreciate the overall the partnership. To Wes and Jeb from Audible, the Audible team. Thank you for the residual income. I'll say that much. It's much appreciated, and it helps to fund the show. But with that, on the previous break, we had Terrence Mills, who participated in the last Sunday's New York City Marathon, TCS Marathon. And yes, he did finish. And yes, we will have pictures up on the Facebook page of Terrence Mills last week running that race, 26.2. Real quickly, we got our next guest coming up right now, Mr. John Hamilton from SOFO LLC. I had a conversation with him this past weekend because we have partners that we both deal with. John has a great organization. He's going to elaborate on it and all the good things that they do. Our connection is Mr. Danny Thompson from NBA Full Court Press, sponsored by SOFO, and that's a heck of a long title, but without further ado, we're going to bring on John. John, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good. John, Mr. John Hamilton, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. You could be doing anything right now, but you are spending the time right now with us just to chat it up with us for a few minutes. So we definitely appreciate you, and thank you for being on time.
No problem.
So I guess we'll jump right into it. So I'm a sports fan. I like to say a super fan when it comes to my specific teams. But one of the shows that I tend to listen to on iHeartRadio 969, The Game, happens to be, it comes on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, NBA Full Court Press. And
yes,
then but the name is somewhat different. It's Full Court Press, sponsored by SOFO. So I wanted to get in on the know and say, hey, how do you become a title sponsor for a great NBA show? Because we're only an incremental sponsor, and it had me to start thinking. I'm like, well, what's going on with SOFO? Why are they always mentioned? So with that, tell us about SOFO, how you came about, the idea, the movement. As usual with most of my featured guests, I'll decrease, allow you to increase. The mic is yours. The mic is hot, John. Tell us all about how you came about putting together your organization.
Somebody came to me initially with an idea. A good friend of mine came to me and told me he sees that I do a lot of things with the community. I'm pretty indulged in our local community, and he said we need to come up with something where you can take your personality, your people skills, and your connections, and let's build on that. So we went through a bunch of different ideas, a bunch of different things, and finally we came up due to his daughter, actually. Shout out to Shanice. She said that social media was so popular, and she said that we are, as a company, we could fund the movement and start, and then a bunch of ideas with the social media concept came up, and one of our other good friends happened to call me in the middle of us, bumping heads as to what we were going to do, and he was saying, hey, man, we could turn this into a business. And, you know, he asked us what we were talking about. We broke it down, and he was like, listen, this is what we can do. And we all have marketing backgrounds. We all have, you know, people relations. You know, we're very good with our communities. And so, you know, that idea turned into SOFO. And the basis of SOFO, it stands for, a lot of people ask me, what does SOFO mean, or where did you get the name? I came up with the name SOFO, which stands for something for everyone. Because I am very big on being a part of everyone I've come in contact with life in a positive way. I want to touch people in a positive way. So I didn't want to make it a bias. I didn't want to make it a standardized type of situation. I wanted it to be a place where every race, every individual, every place in the world could be touched or feel comfortable under our brand. So that's where I came up with the title SOFO. And honestly, and shockingly, I have a lot of friends, and you know, I communicate with a lot of people. I did not expect for it to take on, you know, the amount of, you know, excitement and endearment for the movement that it did. So shout out to, you know, to the Philadelphia area, shout out to the New York area, shout out to Chicago, shout out to Florida. People really, really, you know, supported and appreciated the movement. So that's where that stemmed from. And obviously we are a company. We work with clientele to promote sponsorship, branding, and marketing. So we are a marketing company. But the real basis behind SOFO is opportunities, man. I'm big on trying to use whatever resources, whatever financial resources, whatever inspirational resources, whatever motivational resources I can to help somebody, even if it's only one person, get a cleft hold in life or get a cleft hold in what they're trying to do. So even though we are a company, my main motivation, the passion behind what I do is helping, man, helping whoever I can, whether it be through employment, whether it be through an internship, whether it be my clientele, whoever. So I believe that passion and that desire to help people has allowed, you know, a lot of good things to come SOFO's way. So that is the gist of how SOFO came about.
Gotcha. And very powerful story, positive story. I like that you guys have your hands on social media, and I like the fact that you were naming specific cities where it's more of a melting pot. It's not just, hey, I'm just, you never want to get to a point where, hey, I'm just doing this for African Americans or Latinos or you know, whatever. It's like whatever your ethnic background is so important because it needs to be multicultural. That's the way you really start a movement, and it's, you know, refreshing to hear that story because it kind of reminds me of a gentleman who's located here in Long Island, New York, in Nassau County. The group is called the ABBA Life Center. I definitely got to put this person in touch with you, and I mentioned that to you before offline, Reginald Benjamin, because his story is somewhat similar to yours. There's some similarities, so there's a thread or two where there could be possible connection or future connection, because here's a gentleman, I met him through his organization, and they do something every year called Dream Big. And so basically they choose a specific area and they donate 1,000 backpacks to kids that are, you know, I don't want to use the term underprivileged, but those families that are in need. And that could be anyone. That's any background. And they make a difference because, you know what, they're impacting change. And I applauded him. But after hearing your story, I said, you know what, I've got to connect you guys, just whether it's just through email or whether it's through a phone conversation, because I mean, with you mentioning New York is my area. I know you're located in Orlando, so I know you know, maybe are your headquarters in Orlando, or is it kind of like a virtual headquarters?
Yeah. Yes, it's the office is in Orlando, but we have a lot of, you know, up and coming businesses and people that we deal with in all the places that I named. So that's why I put those places on the map.
So John, my question to you is, I am an entrepreneur. I could use some help. I can use some help in the marketing department. How would I know to reach out to SOFO? Or after I reached out to them, what should be my expectations as an entrepreneur or as someone, a young professional, you know, who just graduated from college or who just graduated from high school? Like, give us some of the soft skills or you know, the expertise that you can offer or that SOFO offers.
Well, first off, you can always be guaranteed one thing, that whatever we take on for you as an individual, whether it be an entrepreneur, whether you join our internship team, whether we, you know, have you as an employee, you will be in a quality environment. We only produce quality products, and our movement is real. It's not something that we're doing just to be doing it, man. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm just doing this to be doing it. This is something that I have delved into and that I'm passionate about, man. I love to see, especially, you know, I work with some, you know, bigger businesses, but I love to see a small business individual or entrepreneur come to me and say, thank you so much because I wasn't sure. And we want to clear away all doubts. And as far as what we do at SOFO, we have a management team that manages the social media accounts. We have a graphic design team that would allow for website customization, website building. We have a team specifically, it's our Beat the Street team, that is for, you know, flyer and any business paraphernalia distribution. Email management team that works with email marketing, that works with customer support via email. We develop image and video sharing. We have a social branding department. We do competitive analysis, social media strategies, every single thing that would allow for you as an individual, as a business, as a company, to take your product, your brand, or your merchandise to the next level. You will be able to reach new markets, new faces, new people, because our first job at SOFO is to present you with a plan, and a quality plan that will allow you to say, if I had 40 people coming to my store in October, then I'm almost guaranteed to that number to double by November. So that's our goal. Our goal is to allow you in whatever field or whatever lane that you're in to grow. And our growth is real. It's not something that we're going to tell you and then you're going to call us a month later and be like, what happened? It is real. And we work with so many people. We have so many different departments, so many different people who specialize in different areas. So you're going to have people who know exactly what they're doing regardless of what it is that you need done. And we are very in-depth with the youth. And this is one of the biggest secrets of social media success. If you can capture the young people, if you can get the attention of the young people, the young adults, then you are on a rocket to becoming, you know, what they would call a successful entrepreneur, somebody that's relevant. We build custom hashtags. It's so many different things that we can do as a company to help uplift and upgrade your entire social media experience. And our target is we give the young folk a lot of opportunities, and we have a lot of people who are in depth in whatever the scene is. We have a lot of hip hop lovers. We have a lot of movie lovers. We have a lot of cartoonists. It's so many different areas where they can relate to other young adults and teenagers that allows the attention to be even more towards your product. So it's quality all the way around.
John, you sound like David Axelrod circa 2008 for the Obama, pre-President Obama campaign, because you're right. You can hit that market. I don't know if that market is the 17 to 25 or whatever. That youthful market that has embraced this type of technology, and they don't do anything without checking their social media accounts and tweeting and connecting with folks on Facebook. They're checking these accounts every 5 minutes of the day. So if you have tapped that market, you're definitely on to something good there.
Definitely. And that's the greatest thing about the young adults is not only do we tap that market, we flip that market on itself because we give out so many opportunities to those young adults. So it's a win-win situation for the consumer and the young adults who are looking for an opportunity to be a part of something. Man, I can tell you that I went out and spoke to a group of young adults today, and the excitement about somebody giving them an opportunity to be a part of something is amazing, man. People don't realize that there's so many young kids out there looking for, that chance to be a part of something more. And so that's another one of the things that makes SOFO so extensive and exclusive in how we do things. We're not just, capturing a market. We are upgrading the market. We are giving so many opportunities and changing so many lives just by the simple things. We're not out handing out $1 million a day or taking people out of broken homes, but we are giving opportunities where there were none. And we do not restrict ourselves to an area, to a race. We just want to allow anyone interested in a real opportunity to earn, to learn. That's what we strive for.
Well, I got to tell you, that's definitely excellent. Like I said, attacking, or I shouldn't say attacking, but attracting the youth's attention and being able to contain it and hold it, that's the key to success right there. So tell me this much. Your name is implanted all over this radio show that I like to listen to on Tuesday nights. How did you go about with that?
Honestly, Danny, first and foremost, I was, I played basketball in high school, college. I was always a big fan of basketball. When we can debate about basketball for days at a time. If I wanted to, I could probably have my own radio show just knocking down the hype and the belief if you leave it up to me. But Danny's a great guy, man. That's the first thing, man. When we first had our first discussion, I told him, I said, whatever you need, I'm here. The company is here because his attitude, his approach, and his work ethic is comparable to mine. And that's the type of individual that I like dealing with, somebody that I feel is passionate and is serious about what they're doing. So I felt like, why not? And when we had our conversation, he explained to me about the route that NBA Full Court was taking. I listened to the show, great show, great guys. Paul Myers and Mark are great individuals. So it was a no-brainer for SOFO. So that it was just Danny captured us really easy. So that's really how we got into it. And I'm an ESPN type of guy, so I didn't have a problem with a NBA type show.
Got you. Like I said, we co-sponsor the show. Like I said, not to the level that it's NBA Full Court Press sponsored by Late Night Parents. No, not even. I leave that to the big dogs. but just as I mentioned, just the same, love the spirit behind that young man. love what he's doing, and it was one of those things where I said I got to get behind it. Got to get behind
Most
it to
definitely.
show support, and that's what we need to do every day. And I'm not saying that we're going to be able to do it every day, but when someone is doing something and they're passionate about it, it's good, take a second out of your busy day and listen to someone's dream or someone's desire, things that keep people moving, number one, anytime someone wants to be an entrepreneur, I'm totally behind that. I'm not saying I'm totally against the machine, but the machine is the machine. And if you can get out there and then do it yourself and work for yourself and hustle and do everything that you need to do, then so be it. I mean, we're happy for it, and that's why I deemed it important to want to reach out to you and discuss your organization and just the positive things behind it. And I gotta put you on the spot here. I'm gonna put you on the spot, and just to our listeners of the podcast, this is not rehearsed. There's no script. There's none of that. John and I had a conversation last Saturday, either last Saturday or last Sunday. We spoke for a few minutes because just to tie up, just to sew up that he would make this appearance. What is SOFO's vision for like the next 18 months?
Well, our vision is to continue, first and foremost, to make connections, to continue to connect to different individuals, with this in the same line of, passionate about what they do, to help expand SOFO even further than where we already are. And secondly is to build more companies, to build more brands. We're currently in discussions. Obviously, it's contractual, so we can't get too deep into it. But we want to expand more brands. We want to reach more people. And we want to show how much of a presence and an effect that this company is going to continue to have. Our goal is to continue to grow, continue to expand, and continue to change people's business, continue to change people's brands, continue to uplift those in need, and just put the big arms of SOFO around as many people as we can and bring them in. When we deal with clients, we build relationships while we work on their projects, and that's number one for us, man. We want to build relationships. We want to make connections. We want to connect others, and we want to continue to just grow as a whole.
Yeah, that's a fair answer. So I'm going to say this much. I know how to get in contact with you, but for our listeners, and the podcast will be available through all the normal mechanisms, from iTunes to Blueberry to Spreaker, you name it. You can pull it up on this Blog Talk page. I will be doing a special MP3 show just with this discussion, John. But if you could just tell our listeners, near and far, archive versus live listeners, best ways to get in contact with you in regards to SOFOs.
It is SOFO, that's SOFOE, LLC @gmail.com. For anyone looking for business via the Instagram or Twitter apps, you can also contact us. We have a customer support response team in the direct message department on it, both Instagram and Twitter. And also at 407-607-9862.
All right. Well, I'm going to, John, with that, we want to give you a round of applause. And this is the first time we're connecting. Definitely won't be the last time we're connecting, because now we're starting to connect on social media, and
definitely
just some of the cool things that you put out, our team will definitely be retweeting, vice versa, and it's good to connect with you.
Most definitely,
and if
man.
there's
It's been an absolute
any future endeavors that you are working on, you can always use this platform to reach out to our listeners near and far. I don't want you to number one, I don't want you to feel like, oh, hey, I got this initiative and maybe I'll give Ted a call or something like that. No. If you need the mic, you let me know what day, what time you need the microphone. I'm going to hand it on over to you and you speak your piece. You got it?
Definitely.
Mr. John Hamilton, I want to thank you so much for being on Late Night Parents tonight. Thanks again, and we'll be talking very soon in the future.
Thank you. It was an absolute pleasure.
And that was Mr. John Hamilton from SOFO LLC. Loving what they do, loving these type of grassroots organizations that are out there. So tonight we had Terrence Mills, who ran the marathon and completed the marathon. He's going to probably stop back by next week, and we're going to talk about BCAT. We're going to talk about his public access TV show, the ups and downs of running your own public access show. We got a few people on next week. I haven't solidified next week's secondary guest, but want to talk real quickly about our good friend, well, everyone's good friend, Jon Stewart, striking a deal with HBO. Oh, HBO, they're doing the right thing between their app and between all the talent they're acquiring. Do you like the new heart feature, the new heart button on Twitter? Get at us and let us know. Do you like that or not? Apple is launching a new 4-inch iPhone early next year. I don't know. On TV, I think my favorite show is The Flash. Google's new email feature will write replies for you. That's available on Mashable.com. Make sure you check out Late Night Parents. We've got a lot of great stuff coming on there. A lot of good giveaways that are going to be happening. And I guess it's a wrap. I guess this is the show. This is your 60 minutes. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for everything that you've done, and for our listeners, I want to say thank you. And we're going to close out with I Reminisce Over You. I reminisce.